Okay, so last class, we kind of left it here, and everything is still a little floaty. It shouldn't take us too much longer to really get this guy looking the way it's supposed to. I found, we still have I have this reference as well that you guys should have in the files that I'm going to use to kind of finish this guy. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but you guys should have it in the reference section. Okay, so now I'm noticing there's some discrepancies. There's some stuff that's it's not looking right now. So just kind of want to take care of that. So let's grab this guy right here. Grab these guys. We're just gonna pull them so that they are they're sitting nicely on the outside and not embedded into our mesh. And I thought about kind of doing this and then just kind of bringing it back to you guys, but I think if you guys see everything I'm doing, then you know what's going on, and it doesn't feel like a mystery as to how I get anywhere. So yeah. So I just grabbed those verts right there, and I'm just gonna pull them out. And depending on how this kind of ends up, we might need to go even further. So you never know. It's just can I do this? Gonna delete that guy. All right, so now let's add some more. Let's add this material so that I can see what's going on there. Okay, so do I have like flipped faces or something? Yes, I do. Alright. So the reason it was showing up as black is because those faces were flipped to the other side, so it was projecting that way, and all I did was just flip it back the other way around, and that's probably because we probably drew it in the front view. So the easiest way to do that: select all of your all of the edit poly meshes, and then just flip it around. And that flip function is in the edit elements. You just need to flip it. There's a bunch of different ways to flip it. You can throw on a normal, a normal modifier and then flip it that way. All you're doing is flipping your normal map over. So that's how you do that. All right, so we've kind of, we've addressed some of the issues that we were having with this, and now what we need to address is, some of these have pretty decent, extrudes and bevels and stuff that we need to address. As you can see, these guys are all, they're all one. So let's see what happens if I just take this guy. Oh, just insets. Let me see. What I'm doing is I'm just looking back and forth for my image. All right, that's what I do a lot of the times. That's what you guys should be doing too, is just look at your reference quite often just to make sure everything looks right and make sure everything's is working the way it's supposed to. Alright, so I'm just taking a look at my reference and then going back and forth and making sure that I've got something I like. So and right now I'm in flat in this. Let's do standard and not flat. It's just making it look a little weird for me. Gonna take it from flat just to do the default shading so that we have everything back to normal. And now I can all right. And you know, if you look at the reference, the bevel for here does not, you know, it doesn't go that far in, so we're gonna have to adjust how far in this guy's going. You see how that's just so deep in there that we just need to pull this guy out just like right there so that it's matching closer to the reference. And then after the fact, we're still gonna need to do maybe like a chamfer on that edge right there because it's got a nice bevel. There's a decent transition, and this transition right here is just a little too much. So we just grab this guy as well and then pull this guy out to the forefront. Like so. So, you know, for something like this, you know, this thing right here is supposed to glow. So I'll show you guys how to make a quick glowing material. So let's just do glow _blue. And I've got my blue color already because I just shift dragged that guy. And what I need to do now is the emission is already up to 1. I just need to kind of check, make sure I have the similar color. So I'm just gonna color pick this color, hit OK. And now I'm just gonna assign our new glow material to and you can mess with the luminance and the, you know, all that stuff here. But I'm just so let's see. So I don't know if I wanted to be, maybe, you know, maybe we can throw a little transparency on it. But all in all, you know, it doesn't need to be that crazy. Might want to bring this guy up just a little bit value-wise because it's just kind of dipping. You know, this is the before, this is the after right here. So, you know, this is just, it's just kind of a little too dark. So all I'm doing is pulling this slider for the value up so that it increases the brightness. So just like that. So now, you know, we've got something that looks a little more glowy. All right. All right, so a lot of these have like bevels and extrudes and stuff, so that's what we need to address next. So now let's throw a bevel on this guy. Like so. I'm just gonna pull this in. All right, it's not crazy bevel, but it's got some. You know, we're probably gonna have to do some cleanup after the fact, but that's okay. It's okay to clean up your mesh. It's okay. Just making sure I've got just a decent bevel in there, and now I can hit the check mark, and what I'm going to do is where these are starting to intersect right here, I can just grab those two verts, right click right here, Then I'm just going to look for my collapse, and what that's going to do is it's going to collapse those two into each other. Right, just like that. I'm going to do the same for this guy right here. Grab those two verts, right click, collapse. So now I'm getting something that's a little more manageable, a little more realistic. And we've got some weird stretching, and that's just because of our triangulation once again. So to fix this, you know, you can just pick any of these verts right here. Just right click, connect, like so. Then maybe select this guy right here, connect. And it'll take away that that weird. Okay. All right, so there is this idea in 3D modeling that are called floaters, right? This is an issue that I'm having right here. Should be right smack dab in the center. This guy should be like right here. I don't know why it's so off kilter. This guy should be right there, like so. And then what we can do to make sure, just do an edit poly modifier, select this edge, hit S on my keyboard to kind of navigate me to the symmetry modifier. That's my fault, I haven't pressed the, I brought up our handy dandy no board. So I'm just gonna symmetry modifier. Whoops, wrong axis. So we just need to figure out the axis that we need to be on, right? So right now it's flipping this side over here, all right? But what I want is the other way, all right? So now, see, like, this is one of those things, like, it's up to you. Which one would you prefer? You know, that's wide. Let's look at the reference and see. I think I want the wider one for sure. Okay. Go back into our edit poly modifier. What I might just do is because I feel like it just, I don't know, I feel like it gets too skinny right here, but looking at the reference, right? Like whenever I'm in doubt, I just look back at the reference and I look, okay, is it really that skinny? Will that pass? Will that not? You know, that's fine. All right. Because eventually, you know, some of this stuff will probably be, you know, kind of embedded into the, oops, embedded into the mesh, like so. But eventually, you know, we're going to want to regularize this guy, or not, re-topologize this guy. I don't want to have to go through the process of, you know, kind of doing all that extra stuff, so I'm going to reset it and do maybe by 30 and then compute. It was kind of crunching up some of this info, so I don't mind this. I don't mind it, but yeah, I still don't mind it. I still might symmetry it after the fact, just because. But it's one of those pieces that it's like those jagged edges and some of those, like, you know, the faceting and stuff, it kind of plays into the hand of the design. It kind of plays into the hand of the hand painted, the hand drawn look that they were going for. So we'll take our small victories where we can. Just throw a turbo smooth on it. And see now, like when I throw turbo smooth, it doesn't do anything crazy. It looks good. It's fine. And this is cool. This is cool. So. Okay. So we're probably gonna have to do something similar for these guys. Control A will select all of them, and then let's just throw a bevel. So at first, it was doing it by the polygon, so it wasn't doing the right one. So I just fixed it and made sure that it was doing it based on the normals. So. Right, you know, as usual, we're gonna have to fix some stuff, but that's fine with me. I'm not scared to fix anything. So, just making sure I've got a decent bevel in here. Just don't make it too far. Okay. Hit the check mark once again. Connect. And then I'm going to connect this because we're getting some Z fighting issues and this triangulation error. So, you know, you guys know the tactic now, right? To kind of fix a lot of this stuff. Let me see if I can insert this guy. Okay, that's what's happening. So these guys, obviously they're starting to intersect each other. So we're gonna do the same thing that we done. Instead, actually, let's just. I'm gonna select 1, 2, 3. Control backspace, and this guy is probably the main issue. Let's reduce those polys. Alright, so we've got an issue right here, but this is easily solved. I'm just gonna pull this guy up. Easily solved. And then select this guy, connect, just like so. So, this is nice and all. Okay, then this is correct. So, for this guy, I'm going to need to, if you're looking at the reference and, you know, it's this piece right here. And it's got one, and then there's another guy in there. So, to achieve that, right, all you would have to do is select this inside edge, shift, using my scale. I can just, boom, like so. W on the keyboard, shift again, right? Boom. Like that. And I might want to scale this guy in a little bit just because, you know, just to match the profile of everything else. And then scale it once again. We've got some big issues coming up with this other guy, so just gonna right click, cap that, and that little area looks good. Just this little top piece that we're gonna have to address now. So right here, we've got a conundrum. One on my keyboard. Let's I'm trying to make heads and tails of this. It's just really you can really mess yourself up. Just connect that. All right, so now we're isolating it to where now when I select something, it's only going to select that area. I can delete that. I'm going to delete all that. I'm going to select this ring right here, which I think is the inside ring. I'm just going to delete this guy. You're useless to me. Useless. Utterly useless to me. So now what I want to do is just, you know, I'm going to target weld. Let's see what the reference looks like before I start target welding. Okay, this guy, boom. This is the little piece right here that I'm working with, so. Okay, it's not that crazy. I'll start with this guy, and we'll just pull this guy like right there. Start yanking stuff. Start yanking. Let's go to V, and then I'm gonna go into the back view. And this is how I'm going to make sure that I'm only editing on pretty much one axis, because if I'm not, I can really start to mess stuff up. But yeah. Alright, as you can see, not bad. Okay, so what I might want to do is I might want to just control backspace one of these guys so that I have enough to bridge what I need to bridge. I'm just going to bridge these guys together. 3, select that, and cap. Alright. Oh, you know. This is usually the method you just kind of go in and you have to connect all of those together. But at the end of this, I'm just going to regularize it just because, I keep saying regularize, not regularize. Re-topologize it just because it's a little easier and it's supposed to be a high poly. So if I'm going to bake my low poly is going to be a lot cleaner than that. But yeah. So now I can just select this guy, scale it in. Right, same thing, and just cap that. That solves that guy for us. All right, so now let's pull this guy in a little closer to our edge. I think it's got like a interesting transition. So whenever we get our transitions done for these guys, we'll be good. One thing I haven't done yet is just made everything kind of one wire color so that, everything looks uniform. I don't know why I did that. So now, we're starting to get somewhere. Starting to get something that resembles what we're looking for. So with these guys, just gonna right click, connect. They have these little insets in this groove area, right? Inset, inset, inset. That's what I'm going to try to achieve next. So from right here, just going to right click, inset. So it's insetting by polygons right there. And do a plus, and then bring this one in like so. And just shift. All right, so that's how you would go about doing something like that. If you guys can't see it. All right. But what I want to do is, I just want to do all of them at once. So, actually, let's select all these guys and whoops. Need to connect these two. Select this guy. Oh. Connect. Okay, I'm looking right here just to make sure that, you know, I've got it right. All right, so yeah, it's supposed to go like this, just like that. All right. So now we can just select these guys. Right click, inset. Go, and then instead of doing what I did earlier, where I just shift drag, I'm going to do now is I'm just going to right click, do an extrude, because now I've got, you know, polygons that span the surface and go all the way around, and we don't want to, you know, have any adverse effects. So now I can just inset them and get the result that I'm looking for. So now I've got my insets in here. Everything's looking good. All right. So we've got like one or two more pieces that we need to kind of throw some edit poly and stuff on. And this stuff here, I thought they were lines, but looking closer at the reference, it looks like there's like some runic pieces or runic writing stuff that's just like written on the side of it. So we'll have to go back and fix that. Or I'll, you know, in fact, I'll just leave you guys to fix that. Whenever you guys come up to this part of the video and you guys see this, instead of keeping these straight lines, just draw, you know, using the line shapes. Draw something that resembles all of these little squigglies and stuff like that, just to be more accurate. It's the name of the game. So now let us select everything. Then let's throw a bevel on it. then just inset. Select one, right? At this point, you guys know the drill. You know, it's pretty straightforward after that. You know, after this, so. All right, so that's not going to work. So what I want to do now is first just connect these two. So that I can now connect these two, and I won't have that effect. Right, and those type of things you'll only learn by experience and doing it. You know, if something messes up, you're like, oh, what just happened? Oh, okay, that's it. Simple, fix it. You know, little things like that. Yeah, this is pretty good. All right, let us see what happens if we re-topologize this guy. Oh my goodness. That looks so good. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. That is such a good re-topology job. Wow. Right, the reason is, right, all we now have to do is turn on Turbo Smooth. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Right? That's the cool thing about re-topology. I'm hitting T. That should be an R. Alright, so let us compute. Ooh, this one might be a little tougher. Let's see what this guy looks like. Not bad. Ooh. It's not, you know, it didn't do that bad a job. Let's turn on Turbo Smooth. Right, it didn't do a bad job. No, not at all. Looks pretty good. All right. You know, obviously we're gonna clean up, you know, some of those inside edges whenever we finish out the profile of this guy. So yeah. Let me take this guy. Whoops, not a face extrude. Let's throw an edit poly modifier on this guy. Let's see what happens if we re-topologize this guy. It might do a terrible job. I don't even know. Oh, I might want to drop it down to 1,000. That's not bad. It's got some. It's got some weird triangulation issues here. So you know, as usual, what we want to do is we want to help it out. You know, we want to help it out. So what I might do is Alt-1 on the keyboard, throw an edge right there, select those two, and then just connect those. Let's see how our re-topology does on this. Oh, we probably want to do it on the other side too, Mr. Ty. Mr. Ty, let's see. Just select that. Yes. I know it's back there. Now let's connect. Now let's throw on our re-topology. Maybe instead of 5,000, we do 1 again. Wow. That's not bad. That is not bad. And that's why, you know, if you're the one controlling the topology, you know how you want the edges to flow, you can really do some cool stuff with the Re-Topology tools that are provided to you inside of 3ds Max. But before we do that, I'm gonna cut that out one more time, and I want to add like the same kind of bevel that's right here, right? You can see that transition. I want to add something similar right to this side right here. So there's a few ways we can do that. We can select the edge. Right. Maybe this might honestly be easier after Re-Topology, but just getting such good we're getting such a good Re-Topology that I'm like, man, that's, I feel like they upgraded it or updated it or something, because that was pretty close to what the mesh, you know, kind of looked like. So good job 3ds Max on making that Re-Topology, you know, look pretty good. So yeah, for this, you know, we can just chamfer this right, you know. And right now, if we chamfered it, what it's going to do is it's going to give us this soft edge, because it doesn't know how we want to chamfer it. It's saying, hey, you might want this to have like multiple transitions, so it's kind of like smooth. That's not what we want. What we want is kind of like a hard, flat edge. And to change that, there's this little button right at the top here. You can use, just click through, and you'll get that, that effect. All right. So now I just want to kind of add that for us. And it's got some weird funky stuff going on right here that we'll fix, but no, I'm not too entirely unhappy with this bevel that I've gotten in here. All right. Might just remove that. This guy, remove that. That. All right. I'm gonna want to collapse this guy. And now we can do our Re-Topology tools. You guys see, you know, all I'm doing is just getting some geo, cleaning it up. Getting geo, cleaning it up. You know, this is it's the same process over and over again. So, you know, after you guys have done this and watched a bunch of videos, I know you guys are probably like, oh, okay. You know, you'll start to feel like you're getting the hang of it. So, don't give up. Keep practicing. Keep trying. You know. Trust me, this stuff, whoops. I feel like it disappeared for a second there. What? What's going on? It feels like it disappeared, see? Alright, so now let's try some Re-Topology on these guys. Because, you know, I did some cleanup myself, and this would be something I could use for like a low poly or something, but for the high poly, it's not very good, so we're going to compute this. We're going to leave it at 5,000. And right now, because of our transitions, it might be softening those edges for us a little bit too much. So what we want to do is when we throw on our Re-Topology, we might want to just do it by, you know, by angle. And then let's see, let's compute. There we go. Now look at that. That does not look bad. But it didn't do anything to the bottom piece, and that's, I think, because I'm just gonna cut this out. Yeah, let's remove this as well. And what I want to do is I want to give it some hints, right, as to how I want it to triangulate some of this stuff. Don't chamfer. Connect. So let's give it some hints, and then, you know, that's going to be it. And whenever we're done with that, I think, you know, for the most part. So yeah, you just want to give it some hints, because when the computer starts to guessing and stuff, it's just, sometimes it does a terrible job. So you wanna kind of guide it along and not let it really do all the stuff it needs to. All right. Connecting some edges, trying to make it known how I would like this to go. So might throw one right here, because I want this to kind of flow like so, in this way as well for this guy. All right. And our inside really doesn't matter, because we're never going to see it. So I'll probably end up deleting it, but you know, for now, this is okay. So I'm gonna hit Re-Topology once again. Let's compute. Let's see what we get. And let's reset this guy by angle, and then now compute. Let's cut. I'm going to select all of them, and I'm just going to clear out the all the smoothing groups. So now everything kind of looks jagged. All right. Re-Topology, compute. Nope. Reset, compute. Because it's just doing this weird soft thing that I do not fancy. I'll select edges by angle. It's like ruining my... See, like, it did good on some of the parts, and then some of the parts it's like, I don't care. I don't want to do my work well. So maybe do one. Reset. Don't smooth. Let's compute. Okay, let's do 5, 3, 1, 2, 3. Reset and then compute. So, you know, it might take you a few tries to get this, but, you know, once you find a good resolution of the mesh that you can use, then you should be good to go. Just making sure. Yeah, it's still making a mess of my little bevel here. Maybe my little bevel is not enough. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like, hey, it's not enough to give you what you're looking for. So I might need to myself go in here and then just pull this guy out like that, just so it's more of a prominent bevel, right? If I miss some pieces, I need to go and reselect them. So I just need to make sure that I've got the pieces I need, and then just pull those out a little bit, right? Just so we're getting more. I'm gonna reset this guy. And then let's do compute. There we go. There we go. All right. So as you can see, what I need to do now is just throw an edit poly modifier. I'm gonna clear this out. Maybe we'll see it. All right. So yeah, let's clean up our geometry for us, and we've got pretty even topology. And what I do not like right now is how this this middle area is kind of being treated, and it's just like right here. This is crazy. This is I would like this to be like across, boom, 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 boom. That's just much cleaner, much better, you know, topology, much better geo. So yeah, that's something that, you know, we'll address and fix and make look good. So, but the important thing about, you know, this is if we throw a turbo smooth on it, it doesn't do anything crazy. And let's do smoothing groups. Let's clear all. Not smooth. Clear all. Do a smooth 30. All right. I'm still getting that nice edge. All right. But, you know, like I said before, this is our high poly, so, you know, I'm not... Like, topology is important, but it's not my end-all, be-all, because I plan on doing, like, low poly and then baking that information onto the low poly. So, yeah, that's why. But other than that, yeah, this isn't a bad start to our Re-Topology process and getting these guys done and out of the way. Sorry if I took more of your time than I needed to. I apologize for the class going over a little bit, but this stuff is, you know, it's modeling. But yeah, look at this piece. It's nice and clean. You know, I would probably go in and, you know, figure out a way to kind of get these guys to look the way I want them to, but you guys are understanding this process. So if you guys don't have any questions for me,